Welcome to today's video back at Yashio Factory to do some more work on the S15. And I've actually already done a fair bit today. I took the transmission out again and put it back in again. Last night, as I was just drifting off to sleep in bed, I had this moment where I realized I forgot to grease up the input shaft and the needle roller bearing. And I was like, there is no way I'm leaving that to chance. So popped the transmission off, greased that thing up, slipped it back in, took me nothing but 30 minutes. It's insane just how easy it is with this swap kit to remove and put this transmission back in. It seriously blows my mind. One thing that I have to do is I probably got to go to the home center either today or we can do this later, but I have to get gray silicone and I have to, or caulking, and seal this whole thing up. For shucking in Japan, they will fail your car because of this gap here, apparently. They're very strict on that. So we're gonna caulk this thing up and then we're gonna spray it with aluminum paint so it kind of looks like it's been welded, and then they shouldn't complain. Hopefully they don't notice it. We're gonna get a new bush for here that we're gonna run the lines out. Instead of a clutch fork, we're gonna run the lines through there, and it should look really nice and tidy and we shouldn't have any problems. But yeah, I mean, I'm just blown away, honestly. I took this thing in and out in 30 minutes and that's insane. So plans for today is to work in the engine bay and start getting all the wiring kind of situated and plugged in and all that stuff sorted out, as well as, you know, things like power steering lines. We've got a new chase base kit for that to tidy it all up, and just go through and check stuff off my list here. I have a little like memo pad and I've written a few things on there, and if I forget anything, I'll add it to it. But as we go along, we're gonna tick stuff off and get this thing done. I highly recommend it with a build, just so like you can see your progress, even though it feels like you haven't done much. If you can cross one thing off that list or half a thing off that list, it feels like you've accomplished something, and it really does help. So anyways, enough chit chat, let's get this done. Taking a quick moment to tell you about today's video sponsor, which is Lucky Labo. If you're into JDM cars, you should already know what Lucky Labo is, but just in case you don't, they're an online store. They sell a bunch of really hard to find JDM accessories and parts for your car. A lot of collectible stuff. One of them is their Ekosha air fresheners. These are extremely hard to get out of Japan, and they are amazing. We're gonna do a little bit of ASMR air freshener time, but here they are. This is their new sexy squash scent, which is a more sensual squash scent, if that makes sense. So let's get this puppy open. Ooh, yeah. If you guys don't know about these are pretty much put in the cup holders, the typical like AC vent cup holders, and they keep your car smelling amazing. Let's give this a quick whiff. Ooh. So it smells like that JDM kind of squash smell, but this has a more kind of softer, I don't know how to describe it, but it smells really sweet, and also smells like your girl's hair when it's been freshly shampooed out of the shower. Does that make sense? Is that weird? Lucky Labo has a bunch of this kind of stuff on their website, and I highly recommend their Sexy Squash Ekosha air fresheners. They really are the real deal, and if you want your car to not only look authentic JDM, but smell authentic JDM, this is the air freshener for you. They're very popular amongst the Kaido racers and Bossozoku. So with that, guys, thank you Lucky Labo for sponsoring this video. Head to their website, link down in the description. Don't forget to use my coupon code, and let's get back to the video. As you guys just would have seen in the time lapse, I've been doing all the little tiny annoying things that just are so time consuming, but well worth it. I also found that I had somehow forgotten to put the knock sensor on the side of the block, so I had to take the starter motor out just so I could get my hand up and in there and install that, and I bled. Split open my finger, and there's drops of blood somewhere on the ground here. But anyways, most of the harness is kind of installed now. This, I'm gonna get a little like kind of nice black P clamp that's gonna go off this bolt to hold the cam sensor wire there. Normally it goes along the top all the way around here, but I just don't like it like around this section. So I think if that's just there like that, it'll look kind of way, and that'll get tucked in deeper in there too, so it's kind of hidden. And I think that'll just look way cooler from like the top above. But we can also play with that. It's so frustrating. It's like, why is there a wire coming across here, Nissan? Why couldn't you think of that better? Put this sensor down here or something. I don't know. Anyways, rant aside, I am going to be doing something that I'm really excited about. It's an upgrade that I highly recommend on any SR, and it's a full kit that Okachan from Yashio Factory makes. And the best thing is, he doesn't use any kind of off-brand coil packs. He uses genuine Nissan ones. This is why his kit is actually kind of pretty pricey. They come straight from Nissan, the coil packs. He doesn't mess around with any third-party dealers or anything for these coil packs, because there are so many fakes out there, as well as the guys that sell like the red ones you've probably seen. I'm not going to say brands, but they say it's an R35 coil pack, but they make the plastic molding on the actual coil pack itself, so it's a straight drop-in with the just normal bolts and stuff. Those are terrible. The coil windings, we cut one open here the other day. The coil windings inside of them are like not even a quarter of what these OEM ones are. So the thing that you have to do when installing these is you do have to lob off and cut off the little plastic ends that are normally meant for mounting in the 35 GTR. Then all you literally have to do is go and plop these in each, push them down so they're nice on top of the spark plugs, like so. Ooh. Push them down like that. And we have a mil-spec harness here as well. This thing is super important, and this is still based off the same design as the Yashio Factory Tenka harness. And the best thing about this is, instead of it drawing the voltage through the ECU to your coil packs, it gets it directly from the battery or the power source in your engine bay. See that there's a little point here. This goes to your battery, and there'll be a negative wire terminal there too, right here. That way the coils are getting power directly from the battery, and they're not drawing anything through the harness or anything like that. It kind of rules out any issues that can happen there, and it gives you more of a direct, strong spark too. So Okachan's kit's very, very simple. I love it, actually. These nice little billet cases, they're machined out to fit the top of the coil pack in, and then you have these little pink guys here. This literally just sits on top of where the OEM bolt goes. It's a spacer. I'm sure you guys would have figured that out. And then this sits over your R35 coil pack, and then the bolt just goes all the way through and bolts in just like that. And that clamps down and holds the coil packs in place. Seriously, it's super simple, and it is an epic upgrade for your SR, especially once your factory coil packs start to go out. The best coil packs you can ever buy for your Nissan are OEM factory ones. Spend the money and get those if you want to buy them. All the other aftermarket options are junk. Seriously, just Google an open, like a half like cut one of those coil packs, and you'll see what I'm talking about the coil windings in here, like in those aftermarket options like Splitfire and all those, even the JDM brands and stuff. They use like a quarter or half of the coil windings is what the genuine guys do. So highly recommend that. I'm going to install these. I'm loving it. More pink bits going in the car. Not like it doesn't have enough pink on there, but anyways, we're going to finish installing these, run the harness, and geez, this engine bay is starting to come together, and it's looking good. I'm really not looking forward to tackling all the fuel line stuff, but that's probably going to take me a full day. We might start doing that tomorrow. Just finished installing the 35 coil pack kit, and boy, does it look good. I am so happy. That aside, I've just been spending a bunch of time tidying up, figuring out where everything goes, harnesses, and rerouting them so that things look as clean as possible. And one example is the coil pack harness normally would plug into your loom around here where the O2 sensor plug is. This is where it comes out now. This O2 sensor plug will get cut off and sensors will be run to that because we're running a link. The ignition mil-spec harness plugs into the OEM harness down in here, runs along the rest of the loom there, nice and tidy, into the fuse box for where the relay is for the kit, which is here. That just literally slotted right in there, no problem. And then the wires are here to be terminated onto the battery. I do want to eventually put a battery in the trunk. I think I want to do that like ASAP, but I want to get this car running, so we are going to put the battery back in the front for the time being, just so, you know, we can get things running and working and start, you know, doing a shakedown on the car and working out any issues and stuff like that, because whenever you do a build like this, there's always going to be little teething issues, and you need to do a shakedown, you need to work all that out. So we might as well do that before we make any other changes like that. But I think that's where we're going to leave it today. We're going to pick things up tomorrow. Got a lot done, but tomorrow we're going to get into that hot side, start fabbing and working all that out. It's a new day and we are back to work and grind on the S15. But today we're going to be working with the fun chuchin parts. That's right, my friends. We are sorting out the turbo hot side today. And my goal is to kind of get everything mounted up, work out what we're doing with fabrication, get the gate and the V-bands all kind of situated and worked out so we work out what fabrication needs to be done. And let's show you all of the goodies. This is probably the favorite part I love about any build we do, is when we're adding boost. And of course, you guys know we work with Garrett on the channel. They supplied us with a beautiful G25 550 and a 0.72 rear housing. Just look at this. This is stainless steel. This is a work of art. I have never ever seen an external housing that looks so beautiful like this. This is a G25, probably the best, most responsive turbo setup. I was talking to Adam about his setup and he just raves on about these things. If he could, he'd probably marry a G25. But that aside, we're also working with GCG. We got their beautiful 4mm thick steam pipe stainless manifold. This thing is amazing because it has all the amazing looks of a stainless manifold that you love without the cracking. So I'm really excited about that. We got their fitting kit here. We're running a Turbo Smart gate, not sponsored or anything, but these are the best coming from Australia. They got some of the best technology here. Even though this is only a 40mm comp gate, it'll flow like a 50-60. So I'm pretty hyped about that. Let's get all these parts into here. Focus. One thing that I forgot to mention is the exhaust manifold gasket. Something that a lot of people overlook, but I want to save you guys some money and a really good trick. The OEM S40 and S15 gasket is the best, the cheapest, the easiest to get a hold of. And look at this, multi-layered, 8 different slices of metal on there. It's even got a little coating there. The black coating is going out towards your manifold. This slides on there, and it's a reusable gasket as well because it is a multi-layered one. Don't get this upside down like I just did and you'll be fine. But these things are incredible. I used to have this on there. You guys know how many times we took that other manifold and turbo off, like 20 plus times, kept reusing the same gasket, not a single problem. Stop buying aftermarket ones, they're way too expensive. Just get the Nissan OEM one. Here it is, the part number. Don't use the S13 one. The S13 one is this weird, different material that blows out all the time. Common upgrade here in Japan is everyone uses an S15 or an S14 multi-layered exhaust gasket on their S13 non-VCT motor. So there you guys go. The more you know. That's that part number. Go buy yourself one now. So just finished test fitting everything. I've already gone and ordered now all the piping that we're gonna need for making our dump pipe here, down to connect to the exhaust, and our wastegate and screamer pipe and everything like that. I've been playing around with air conditioning lines to make sure we have all the clearance that we need there. We're gonna be like totally fine. There is way more clearance with this manifold than there was with the previous one. We're so far away from this, it's great. We may not actually even need the heat proofing on there, but we are gonna obviously still keep that on there. But we're not gonna use the silver one, we're gonna use the nice black one so it all matches and looks good like this. I did keep the OEM silver one here because you're not really gonna see that once the downpipe and stuff is in there. You can kind of see from here, you don't see it. But the rest of this will also get covered. I have some bigger stuff coming because this stuff here, I don't have it like a big enough size for these pipes, the heater core ones. So we'll get those done as well. I'm gonna start working on the power steering lines from my Chase Base kit and get that all sorted out. We're gonna tidy up some of this wiring, some of it's exposed, get it all retaped up and sealed and heat proofed as well. Man, this is looking so good with that turbo there. Like, this is what it's gonna look like. It looks so freaking amazing. One other thing I want to point out is this particular manifold doesn't sit the turbo too high or too close to the valve cover. A lot of times I see with a lot of SR top mounts is that the turbo is so high it'll actually almost rub it. Well, it will rub on the bonnet, some bonnets, and even hit it. So this is really good. You can see that the engine is still higher than the turbo here. Really, really well designed and thought out, and with all the clearance here too, that is really good. I did have to bend the oil dipstick tube a little bit, which is pretty normal, but that's all clear now. Plenty of space between the runners there as well, which is great, so that's still going to be functional. I'm so excited. The aircon lines thing is a big deal because I was popping hoses a lot because the old manifold I had on there would kind of rub and touch on it sometimes and it would burn through eventually and pop. So pretty much every few months I was changing aircon hoses. Anyways, I'm going to keep going along and get the power steering lines done. Just working through and getting everything sorted out. It is another scorcher of a day here in Japan. If you've ever experienced summer in Tokyo, you know what I'm talking about. It's hard to explain. The closest I can think of is Florida heat, like summer, normal summer in Florida, crazy hot, but then way more humid, sticky, wet, and just bleh. It's like you're walking through a mist of water everywhere with crazy heat from Florida. It's the best way I can explain it, and that probably doesn't do it justice. But anyways, guys, I wanted to take this moment to actually, while I'm relaxing in the aircon here that Oka-chan has full ball in his office, is just say thank you to all of you who are supporting the channel. You know, buying the merch and stuff like that, it helps out so much, helps us level up and grow more and do cool stuff for you guys to check out and enjoy in the content. But also, I want to encourage you, if you have friends, which I know most people have friends that are like, you know, like the same things and stuff like that, that's why you're generally friends, convince them to go check out my channel. Get them to see if they like it, and if they do, hit that subscribe button, because I know this is a very obvious thing to think about, but if everyone got one person to subscribe to the channel, we would double overnight. Super obvious, but also kind of wow and mind-blowing at the same time. So I just want to encourage you guys, if you could do that for me, that would be incredible. And check out the link down in the description. We just restocked on all of the new drop shirts. A lot of people missed out on certain sizes, but we just got those back in. So if you haven't grabbed yourself a shirt yet, jump on it. I got a coupon code, it's I'm late, all capital letters, no space. If you use that, you get 20% off everything in the SAMMIT merch store. But that will only last for the next few days before that coupon code goes forever. So jump on that. Once again, guys, thank you for all your support. Subscribe to the channel, and let's get back to the S15. I am pretty much finished for today. I've sorted out a bunch of the power steering stuff, worked out that I need to order some more parts, or we got sent the wrong stuff or the wrong kit or something. I'm not sure. We're gonna figure that out and email Chase Bays about that. I found a little bit of an issue too with my fuel rail, and I just need to make sure I get the right fittings so that we clear and don't contact the TPS that's here. It's very close there, so we need to make sure we use the right fittings there. Probably need to use one of those really compact swivel radium kits for that, little fitting for that too. So I've got pretty much a huge list in my book here of everything that I need to sort out, and I'm going to email everyone and chase up and purchase things that I need to, because I really want to see this engine running next week. We've got all the fab stuff arriving probably tomorrow or Monday or Tuesday, so hopefully we can have this thing running. I've worked out the belt sizes I need for this. Because we're running this pulley, it doesn't run the factory belts. We need to get some different sizes, so that's all ordered. Pretty much we should be good, but I've just been trying to go over everything as much as possible, because no matter how much you try, there is always something you've missed, or some part is the wrong part that you've ordered, or a mistake was made when something was shipped to you. There's always something that goes wrong when you're doing a build like this, and I've just been trying to go over everything and triple check so that when I go to put everything together, I'm not gonna get stuck with a stalemate that then means we gotta wait a week for a part to arrive. You guys gotta remember, we are in Japan, and unfortunately, Japan stopped innovating with this chassis a very, very long time ago. All the parts that are up to date and amazing are all overseas, so I have to bring them in, and it definitely makes it a little bit difficult. But that aside, thanks for watching, guys. Smash that like button, write a comment, and subscribe. Let me know if you're excited for the S15 build. Hopefully next week, engine running. I'm excited and I hope you are too. Peace out. Ciao, mata.